Pyre is a game with an incredibly rich narrative, from its world, which is simultaneously vibrant and desolate, to its varied soundtrack, which manages to perfectly display the complexity of the characters cast out in its downtrodden world. It uses the story of criminals, unfairly punished for crimes such as literacy or vagrancy, to comment on topics such as censorship, due process, and conscription during war. Personally, one particular theme stands out, however. Not due to controversy or relevancy in a modern setting, but due to its relevance to speedrunning. An idea that is repeated throughout the game is that it matters not which path you take, only that you see it through to the end. And while this philosophy is highly prevalent throughout the entirety of the game, being repeated several times by both the game itself and by members of your party, it, oddly enough, applies very aptly to the speedrun of the game as well. The idea that the journey is more important than the destination is one that is universal in speedrunning. The goal isn't simply to win, it's to win as quickly as possible. Whether through extensive optimization, meticulous pathing, or through simple raw skill, what matters is that the runner reaches the end of the game in the lowest amount of time possible, regardless of the method. But what does this have to do with the speedrun of Pyre specifically? The game has several mechanics which reflect its philosophy. No matter how often you lose, no matter what decisions you make, no matter how poorly you play, it's impossible to lose in Pyre. There's no game over screen. Losing a match just means that you have to try harder next time and that you'll have to learn from the loss as well. Initially, these mechanics seem wholly unimportant for a prospective runner. Why would not being able to fail matter when it's such an impossibility? When you're so knowledgeable, so skilled, that it's unlikely even a small mistake could occur, and the idea of losing entirely is downright absurd. Because what if losing was faster? Shortly after release, a higher difficulty rating was added to the game, True Nightwing Mode. In this mode, opponents are more intelligent and stronger. Additionally, you gain the ability to activate Titan Stars immediately at the beginning of the game, rather than slowly over time. These stars, when activated, change certain aspects of the game, reducing the health of your Pyre, making opponents faster and smarter, and just generally making the game far more difficult. Again, these mechanics, and even True Nightwing Mode as a whole, were generally ignored by the speedrunning community. There's no way that making your opponent stronger and more capable could possibly reduce the time it would take to finish a match, right? Correct. If the goal is to win, however it isn't. The only goal, the only end that is needed, is to finish the game in the lowest amount of time possible. And for that, losing is faster. These stars, combined with the mechanics based on the very core philosophies of the game, create strategies impossible under any other circumstance and in almost any other game. Rather than attempting to win as quickly as possible, running directly into the enemy's Pyre over and over and over until finally the match is finished, the game changes completely. Now it's a question of losing as quickly as possible, baiting an opponent into your Pyre, and sometimes even eliminating your own players in order to convince the opponent that it's safe to go for the goal. Once they do, the process only needs to be repeated once or twice more. Due to the influence of the stars, your opponents are so strong and you so weak that it's over quite quickly. Because the opponents only need to score a few times versus the 5 or more times needed to win conventionally, a perfectly optimal losing run will always be faster than a perfectly optimal undefeated run. Pyre, both the game and its speedrun, show that human beings are at their best when adversity is at its highest, and that victory is far less important than success, especially when you're aiming for some nice, low times. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. Leave me a comment down below so I can know what you liked about it. If you want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe because I have a new analysis coming out every week and new speedrunning content coming out every other day. Other than that, I highly suggest you guys check out Pyre if you haven't. The soundtrack is fantastic. I honestly can't say enough good things about this game, so definitely go check it out. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.